poet and writer Maya Angelou once said, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated." In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so that you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it. Hello, I am Auriane Itangishaka, and welcome to this week's episode of Our Voices. On today's program, we'll highlight strong women who are changing common cultural narratives in Africa and in the diaspora, despite the challenges they face in their communities, countries, or even their personal lives. Some are in the spotlights, others are under the radar in entertainment, business, justice, politics, and more. We'll also feature a man who decided to fight alongside women on the continent to ensure they're not cheated out of life's opportunities. My colleague Semengesh Yakoye, who usually brings us the Women to Watch segment, part of Our Voices that brings you extraordinary women doing extraordinary things in their communities, is with me to go through today's program. Semengesh, are you ready?
Hi Auriane, yes, I am ready.
All right, let's get started. We begin in the entertainment industry. In Cameroon, a girl boss crew takes on the male-dominated film world. 27-year-old Tatapong Beyala, the founder of the company Girl Boss and also music video producer, says women and girls don't always have to be video vixen, the models, or even the actors. She says we can also go above that because our strength is more than what you think. Take a look.
I don't mean to be rude, but all of these jokers think they got something on me.
On set with Cameroonian rapper Law, this is a production with a difference. Behind the camera, in fact, everyone on set is a woman. Tatapong Beyala is the owner of Girl Boss Productions, an all-female company. And she's taking on the male-dominated film production industry in Cameroon and beyond.
The first challenge is just the fact that I'm a female. Yeah. I have a lot of people who don't trust my work, not because it's not nice. They don't even believe I'm the one doing it because I was mentored by a man, yeah. So my mentor even had to ask me to depart from him for me to prove to people that I'm the one doing my works. So they don't want to believe that it's really a girl doing it.
Scriptwriter, music video director, choreographer, video editor. The list of hats Beyala wears is long. She started out in front of the camera in videos before realising she wanted to direct the action. Girl Boss has notched up about 50 music videos. Many fans of Beyala's work assume she's a man.
From my experience so far with my team, you'll be very impressed to see the girls carrying heavy stuff, the girls being fast, and the girls that are the ones doing it. I think we can do it. And I think if we create that universe, that space where we can give hope to the other girls that you can go above just being a vixen. You can go above just being that. There's a space for you where if you want to be the boss yourself, you want to be in the technical crew, to produce art.
I don't mean to be rude, I heard maybe look for the pretense.
Girl video producers, now that's truly changing the common narrative. What do you think, Semengesh?
Definitely, Auriane. In recent times, we've begun to get used to seeing women as music and movie producers, but a video production company with young girls in charge as the producers, that is impressive. Now, let's go to Burkina Faso, a country with a growing comedy scene. And despite the international popularity of Burkinabe French Rukita Ouedraogo, a female comedian, it's still an industry dominated by men. But a fresh initiative hopes to change that. Claire McDougall tells us more from Ouagadougou.
Rukita Ouedraogo helped bridge the gap between French and Burkinabe comedy, becoming known in France and famous in her home country. But Burkina Faso's comedy scene is dominated by men in a country where women are expected to be housewives. The organizer of Ouagadougou's annual Festival of Laughter and Comedy hopes to change that through training.
À gérer toute la journée, elle ne fait que bosser à la maison. Et quand elle me met là un travail, elle travaille et puis elle revient.
All day it is working in the house. For comedy, you need time for reflection, writing good sketches, a good amount of words, to share things you can perform in public.
Chaque sortie que tu feras en public.
Enlever un sein droit.
The country's male comedians trained 10 women on scripting, improvisation and performance for the festival. They got support from the Ministry of Culture and Tourism.
There is also a cultural problem. In Burkina Faso, women are more reserved. They aren't so exposed. We want to take this warmth, this comedic oxygen, to say that women can make it.
The women comedians also hope they can help Burkina Faso, a country struggling with insecurity and displacement, to laugh again.
You are displaced without a home. You no longer have your village. You no longer have your parents. You are there, you are sad, almost wishing you were dead. For those who are like that, to offer one moment, a second of laughter, will offer hope.
Lui offrir un seul moment, une petite seconde de rire, c'est de lui redonner l'espoir à la vie.
With the stage set, the show can begin.
Parce que les femmes ont beaucoup à dire.
There are a lot of things for women to say, and they must become a voice for the voiceless. Women must be part of the comedy scene, because humor has a message.
Il faut que les femmes viennent pour être la voix des sans-voix. Il faut que les femmes viennent sur scène. L'humour aussi, c'est ça, apporter un message.
The experience has brought the women confidence and the possibility of careers as the leading ladies of comedy in Burkina Faso. Claire McDougall for VOA News, Ouagadougou.
Thanks, Siminish. In this story, I appreciate hearing that the country's male comedians are the ones taking the task of training the up-and-coming female comedians. It says a few things. One, the changing in narrative that Burkinabe males are the only ones who are talented in this field. And also, more importantly, males are needed to help, make ways for women to enter into this male-dominated industry so they can make a living,
That's right, and that is also why I think it's important for more and more men to be part of the He for She campaign by encouraging other men to take similar action in their communities to help women and girls reach their potentials.
Indeed, Siminish. It's time for a short break. When we come back, we'll take a look at other women who are changing societal narratives that are holding women back. This time in the political arena. A 30-year-old Burundian lady recently won a seat in the Canadian federal government's parliament. That's next. Welcome back. You're watching Our Voices. I'm Auriane Itangishaka, and here with me is my colleague Semenyeshi Yakoye. We're looking at examples of amazing women and girls who are changing societal norms that often holds women back. Ariel Kayabaga hails from my native country of Burundi. She's a newly elected member of the Canadian federal government's parliament from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party. Born in Bujumbura, Burundi, Kayabaga moved to Canada with her family as refugees when she was only 11 years old. Her desire to pursue politics began early and led her to earn a bachelor's degree in political science from Carleton University in Ottawa in 2013. At age 27, Ariel was already an elected city council member of London West in Ontario, Canada, becoming the first Black woman to do so in the city's history. She's also the first Franco-Ontario to serve as a Member of Parliament for the City of London West. In that position, she chaired in the Corporate Service Committee and sat on the Standing Committee on Municipal Finance. She successfully won the Parliament seat with 36.8% of the vote, replacing outgoing Liberal Member of Parliament Kate Young. The Ontario Burundian community celebrated her with a performance of traditional drummers. To them, she said, "Nta muntu yigira, agirwa n'abandi," meaning no one is self-made. He or she is made by a collective efforts of many. In her online campaign post, she used her voice to advocate for her peers and stated, young Canadians aren't asking for a free house. They're asking for a first shot. Pretty amazing, huh?
Yes, indeed. Now let's take a trip closer to my home country of Ethiopia. In Somalia, lawmaker Fauzia Yusuf Haji Adam, the only female presidential candidate, says it's time for women to lead. In addition to a tough competition with male candidates, if she wins the top position of this very conservative country, she faces many challenges such as gender barriers, economic barriers, and of course armed terrorist groups such as Al-Shabaab. As reported by our colleague Mohammed Kaha in the VOA Somali service, Fauzia says, "We have been waiting for men for so long to sort out the problem of Somalia. But until today, we see there is no solutions. So I have decided to stand for president, and I have no doubt I'll do a much better job than men." And for religious critics who hold religious and traditional stance that she couldn't run for the country's top position, Fauzia says, Islam does not stop women from going to politics or becoming head of state or in higher positions. If you go to Bangladesh, for the last 50 years, almost there are women leaders replacing each other, and it is the most conservative country in the Muslim world. She added, the most populous country is Indonesia. There was a lady who was in charge in Pakistan. And we have so many other Muslim women, including Tanzania and Singapore.
Well, we wish Mrs. Fauzia Yusuf Haji Adam much success in her journey towards helping her country see better days. Now, earlier we spoke about the importance of men supporting women in their quest to find and take advantage of opportunities that life can offer them. A young man in Ghana believes in just that. Godfred Enyan recently worked on a song with a message he wanted to share with our audience. Let's take a look.
The King of Sobada, 2020 and beyond. I imagine Africa will be if women are given the opportunity. This is the time to balance the gender inequality and stop discriminating against women who are in the sinful majority. For the sake of humanity, let's give our women the opportunity, because they have the capacity to lift the continent from poverty. Africa, give women the opportunity. Africa, give women the opportunity. Africa, give women the opportunity. We are guilty of discrimination in terms of women participation. So let's invest in girls' education so we can increase their representation. Empower the African women to do their best for their nation, so, because they have the capacity to lift this continent from poverty. Africa, give women the opportunity. Africa, give women the opportunity. Africa, give women the opportunity. It is so sad, it is so painful. African women have no reputation, even in their quest to serve their nations. Face opposition, discrimination, they go through intimidation, humiliation, and sometimes condemnation. But now, let me tell you, the African woman you see is capable, so make you give her the maximum respect. Never ever underrate and attribute all her hard work to sex. In fact, if we really want to progress Africa, then let us involve them. Let's revise our lessons and change the negative perception that the place for the woman is always the kitchen, but the woman must be seen as a blessing, also as somebody who can do more things. Don't forget, what is good for goose is also good for the gander. Remember, what a man can do, a woman can do it and do it better. This is not a matter of competition, but at least there should be a collaboration. Let us involve our women in decision making and give recognition to their contribution. Africa leaders, this is the time for you to pay attention to girl child education, because that is the only way you can save the future generation. Let us collaborate and change things for the better. But if our women continue to suffer, I bet you we may not go far. The whole of Africa must think about this.
I really like the song, and the beat was so nice. It's now time for another quick break. When we come back, we will look at, should being a stay-at-home parent be a payable job? A court in Kenya believes it should be. What's your opinion? Visit us on our social media platforms and tell us what you think. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and our handle is @VOA Our Voices. We are also on WhatsApp, and send us your message, and our number is on the screen. When we come back, we will share with you some of what other viewers in Kenya think of this issue of housewifery being a payable job. We'll also share more women who are doing phenomenal things like fighting poachers in the jungles of Zimbabwe. Stay with us and we'll be right back.
We're bringing women's voices to the conversation, and more than that, we're building a community of inclusion and empowerment.
Here in Kinshasa, campaigns to raise awareness against the spread of coronavirus are common, but getting that information to people who have no access to water, electricity, or money can be a challenge.
We are here at Kalerwe Market, Uganda, Kampala, where in this whole market, women are crying out for their situations to change.
For women, it will be better for us.
I think a big thing for me is just being able to say that when these protests are happening, does it turn around into policy?
Our kids are raped every single day.
This movement got the governments to listen. It really was powerful because it showed what is possible when men and women band together and say enough is enough.
It's not necessary anymore to climb on a car. I can be in any place to cheer with the people.
Welcome back. You are watching Our Voices. We are looking at women changing the narrative on some of the things that are holding some women back, like culture, religion, economics, just to name a few.
Now let's go to Kenya, where a judge has declared that housewifery should be a payable job. However, male advocacy groups in the country are downplaying the court's declaration. According to the men, paying housewives is putting unnecessary pressure on husbands amid already tough economic times.
Connie Otieno earned up to $600 from her business years ago, but domestic chores are forcing her to stay home. Connie, the mother of four, says she works around the clock, and like thousands of housewives, she says her hard work is mostly unacknowledged. Connie agrees with the declaration by a High Court judge that being a housewife is a payable full-time job.
If you take clothes to the laundry, you pay for them being washed. If you go and have a meal in a hotel, you will pay the people who have served you, the hotel. So all this, if you can get it from your wife in the house, she does the laundry, she cooks the food, she takes the kids to school.
To many housewives, being paid for their work will be a much-deserved stipend. However, if implemented, male advocacy groups say it will be a trigger to family disputes.
Sometimes you find that they are all struggling to put food on the table. And then when you bring the issue of payment, let's say on a monthly basis, it will pose a challenge, because maybe if the husband is not working, what happens? And a pay is demanded.
Family Matters Councillor James Kituzi says homemaking is a role whose payment cannot be quantified, as it naturally complements couples.
Money should be spent to run the family. When a man goes out to work, I believe he's doing that for his family. When a woman stays at home and decides to take care of children or the house, she's doing that to keep the family running. So both roles are equally important.
Some men in Kenya argue that housewives informally get rewarded, and judicial rulings such as that could ruin the foundation of a family.
Women naturally have received, money in various ways from men, unless you marry a stingy one. But a good husband will always ensure that their women, they access resources, they access the cash, they get, to be given gifts in various forms. So this can also kill that natural aspect of always rewarding.
The United Nations Children Fund finds that women and girls are carrying the majority of the care and domestic burden in Africa and are less likely to be employed in the formal sector. With the court weighing in on the need for housewives to be paid, homemakers like Connie can only hope to receive a stipend from their spouses. Victoria Amunga for VOA News, Nairobi.
Quite a tough conversation to have with both men and women on the continent, especially in the rural areas. On the streets of Nairobi, though, some people opened up, and here is what they said.
My thought on that, I actually think it is a payable job because most things are done by the female at home and they cater for a lot of things that are not accounted for. So at some given point, I think they should be paid because you find some of the housewives are actually qualified to do other things, but they sacrifice all that time and stay at home to take care of things at home.
I would say it's a good idea, it's a noble idea because they are our mothers. They do quite a lot in the name of making our life ends meet. So I would suggest if our fathers are working out there, then it wouldn't be a big deal for us to have our mothers getting some retainer just to sustain their lives too, because they also need to have their game. And then it's all about money. Current life situations, it's all about money. Give them something. Let them have something.
So my thoughts on that one is that actually a wife should be paid. Yes, either a housewife or a husband. Both of them should be paid by the other one. It's a very exhausting job. It's a thankless job. You work very hard. Nobody notices. You know why it's really tedious to wash utensils, and to wash the house, and to do those things that look like they are minor. They are so much. Actually, there should be a fixed salary. So if you're a housewife, you need to demand payment from your husband. Otherwise, how is it that the husband can do all of that and go to work and be productive? Yes.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Example is that, for example, your wife is not working and you are working as a man. So it means your money is the money of your wife and the money of your family. So you find that when you are getting back to home from work in the evening, you find out that she's the one who is washing, she's the one who is doing some preparation of the food to your children and to yourself, and for herself also. And you find that so all that duties is also falling on your department. So I support the idea that the money, the ATM, should even be the one having it.
We love to hear opinions and thank you for sharing views. In Zimbabwe, a squad of female rangers is playing a key role in the anti-poaching efforts after the COVID-19 pandemic increased wildlife poaching at Africa's national parks. This is after some people lost their jobs and began hunting animals for food. Columbus Mavunga reports from Burungwe, Zimbabwe.
These are recruits of the International Anti-Poaching Foundation on a drill near Manapuz National Park, about 300 kilometers north of Harare. Nyaradzo Auxillia Hoto has been part of this group known as Akashinga, the Brave Ones, since it started in 2017 to fight poaching here. Hoto says she does not fear poachers or wildlife.
I'm not even afraid. At first, I was a bit afraid. But now, because we have been taught on animal behavior and everything, and also because of the time that I've spent in the bush, now I've got experience. Whenever I encounter even a lion, I won't be scared.
The women are well armed, and if they encounter poachers, they detain them and turn them over to police for prosecution. Damien Mander, an Australian national and an Iraq war veteran, formed the Akashinga project. He says anti-poaching patrols will help preserve Africa's wildlife, which has been under steady attack from poachers for decades.
It was a trial in the beginning, a small trial on one reserve in northern Zimbabwe. We started with 16 women protecting 90,000 acres. We've now got 240 staff as part of this program. We've got 8 reserves that we patrol or have contracts for, and we're on target to have 1,000 staff by 2026.
The International Anti-Poaching Foundation oversees the rangers and pays them through donations collected online. Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority says efforts of such groups is helping to fight poaching in this wildlife-rich country.
And these people have been providing the much needed resources in terms of patrol, in terms of anti-poaching law enforcement. Because of these activities and these partnerships, we are visible on the ground, and less of poaching incidences are recorded within our national parks.
With more and more rangers coming on board, Zimbabwe hopes to eliminate poaching and ensure the safety of the wildlife roaming the national parks. Columbus Mavungam for VOA News, Urungwe, Zimbabwe.
All right, there you have it. Well, we wrap up today's show with an African Olympic runner from Burundi reaching impressive heights. Her name is Francine Niyonsaba. This 28-year-old has truly put her country on the map recently by breaking a few world records. Born in 1993 in the rural town of WEWE in the eastern province of Ruyigi in Burundi, Francine Niyonsaba specializes in the 800-meter run. In 2012, at 19, and only after the third major competitive race, Niyonsaba took home her first gold medal from the African Championship held in Porto Novo, Benin. She then continued to build an impressive reputation and career as one of the fastest African female runners in the world. In 2016, she won another gold medal in the 16th IAAF World Indoors Championship held in Portland, Oregon. Francine did it again 2 years later in 2018 at the 17th IAAF World Indoor Championship held in Birmingham, United Kingdom. This year, she broke 2 world records, the first in September at the Diamond League 5,000-meter run in Zurich. 14:28, the fastest outdoor world record since 2017. The second one, also in September, the 2,000-meter in Zagreb, Croatia, clocking at 5:21, shattering the fastest time indoor since Sonia O'Sullivan in 1994, as reported by the World Athletics. In one of her recent tweets, Francine writes, "I came from one of the poorest countries in the world, yet it is the most beautiful. They told me only boys can do it, yet I am a girl. They disqualified me, yet I am a world record." Well said, Francine. Keep inspiring young girls worldwide and putting your country on the map. And that's all for us this week. On behalf of VOA and my colleagues on Our Voices, thank you for watching. Until next time, good day.
Wizara ya Viwanda na Biashara kupitia Mamlaka ya Maendeleo ya Biashara Tanzania TanTrade inawataarifu umma wa Watanzania kuwa inaandaa maonyesho ya 6 ya bidhaa za viwanda vya Tanzania yatakayofanyika kuanzia tarehe 3 hadi 9 Disemba 2021. Maonyesho haya yatakayoenda sambamba na sherehe za miaka 60 ya uhuru wa Tanganyika yana kauli mbiu isemayo tumia bidhaa za Tanzania, jenga Tanzania, ikihamasisha Tanzania kutumia bidhaa bora zinazozalishwa na viwanda hapa nchini. Maonyesho haya yatafanyika kwenye uwanja wa maonyesho wa Mwalimu Nyerere Sabasaba. Kwa ushiriki au maelezo zaidi, tafadhali wasiliana nasi kupitia barua pepe sac@tantrade.go.tz, Instagram @tantradetz, Facebook TanTrade Tanzania na Twitter TanTrade page, au piga simu namba 0758 001021.